Hey, what's going on, guys? 118 Set Shadow here. Today's going to be a shorter market watch than usual. Not as many singles to cover. But before we get into it, with Uma Musume coming up in the next few weeks, I do want to revisit a restriction that was put in place long before the set was slated to even release over here. So I know we talked about how Shenlong got a restriction some time back to 1 copy per deck, which will be seen below in just a little bit. But for those of you who are planning to pick up Uma Musume cards, it is also notable to note that there will be another restriction in place when the set actually comes out. There's a spell and a follower from the Uma Musume set, Trial Initiation, which is a swordcraft spell, and Ikuno Dictus, who is a Havencraft follower. Both of these cards are restricted for Uma Musume decks and cannot be used outside of said decks. And in addition, you may only use 1 copy of each. To note, these 2 cards are basically ways to get additional cards from your deck. Trial Initiation has the ability to fetch cards from the top of your deck or your drop, while Ikuno has the ability to search Uma Musume cards from the top of your deck. Then, of course, there's Shenlong, which we talked about, where you can play 3 copies of the Evo form if you want, but since it's restricted to 1, it's very unlikely that you're actually going to need that. Now going into the market watch, taking a look at a few cards that might be considered for when Uma Musume comes out. We're starting off with Conflagration, which is a pretty easy to pick up silver right now for Dragoncraft. It's also a foil promo, which was a box topper for set 1. Pricing on this one is pretty cheap, and there are plenty of listings available. Only 4 cents if you want to pick up the silver, but market price is 12 cents. If you want the foil, it's 51 cents market price, but 25 cents base. So with 43 and 53 listings apiece, that's going to be a pretty easy pickup overall if you want to pick that. Serpent's Wrath, on the other hand, while this card is also cheap, I will note, similar to a few silvers I cover here and there, it is a little bit short on listings, 18 overall. And right now the base price is 28 cents, and it has been selling for 50 cents plus a few times. And actually there's only one 28-cent listing. Then we get into the non-free shippings. 28, 29, yeah, there are only a few listings left that are actually below 50 cents on this one. So if you do want to pick up multiple copies at cheap, then you're running out on that. Ultimately, it'll always be under $1 at this point, but it is low on listings, so just keep that in mind. Bellringer Angel, we haven't covered it as a single for a little while, so revisiting this one, it's still under $16 for your base, and then the market price is just over $16 right now. If you want the premium foil version of the base, then it's under $30 at this point, as is the market price. Let's just take a look at history on this one. Bellringer is still likely to continue to see more play as we go along, but it has 32 listings available, so there are quite a lot. And otherwise, it's basically between $15.50 and $16 for a fair amount of listings on the bottom end. So getting back up to 20 is not likely in the cards. It'll probably just stay around the $15 mark for a while, given all the reprints that set 1 has had. Ancient Elf is another one to consider, but it also has a lot of listings available on all of its copies. 40 copies are available for the base legendary, and they're under $3 right now, as is the market price. And then you want the super legendary one? $13 is the base listing right now, and the market price is just over $14. As for the Evo, significantly cheaper and way more listings on the market right now. And that seems to be the trend for a lot of cards in general, outside of Olivia, which we talked about before, and then just some which are mid-tier like the Serpent's Wrath. in terms of listing quantity. Then you have Vampire Noble, which the base version foiled premium is still above its market price, which is six-ish dollars, and the base listing is $8.75 right now with 9 listings. But if you take a look at all the other ones, there are plenty that are still available, although I guess I can't say that to a full extent given that it's 17 listings right now if you want to pick up the Evo base at 25 cents to start. And there are 20 copies, but that is the interesting thing. There are 20 copies of the foil and 17 copies of the non-foil of the Evo, which is very interesting to see how we have more copies of the foil in this case. But $265 is the base price of the foil of the Evo, and if you want the regular one in silver, then it's got 36 listings and is overall under 20 cents right now. Execution is also on its way down in price over the last month, and right now it's got 31 listings, so still plenty available. Right now it's still holding around $5, just a little bit lower than that. Once you get off of the free shipping possibility, then it is a straight $4 for a few copies before getting back into $5 there. Then there's also Anbel of Mysteria. Not too much. I don't think there's much to consider for this for Uma Musume, but I did just want to revisit it. The Evo Ultimate Rare right now is about $32 and the market price is in the 40s, so ultimately this is one that just hasn't really been selling much. And there are plenty of copies right now on both the Evo and the base. Of course the Evo has fewer, but it's still only 35 cents base, although the market price is 110. So let's see how it's actually looking on this. 50 cents, 40 cents, and something happened to my load. Let's try that again. Wait, what happened? Okay, something's wrong there. Let me try that again. There we go, there we go. I'm not sure what happened there. But, let's see. 50 cents seems to be the most common, or I guess not. But there are a number of copies in the 50-cent range before it becomes $1, even with that free shipping tag added to it. But, yeah, not too difficult of a pickup. And that's it for today's Market Watch. Thank you guys for watching. If you liked the video, please like and subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you guys later.